deep by opportunity at work and the Ad Council.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome in to the Fitness Fanatics. Happy Labor Day weekend. It is Sunday, September 3rd. We've been counting down the days till the Husker season starts, and now we're counting down the days till it ends. No, I'm just kidding.
Slow down there.
I'm just kidding. We're all positive on this show today, so
we'll just not talk about the negative things.
Just something real funny though. Des Moines Adams is a member at Meadow Lane, and I was talking to him yesterday about Colorado. I'm like, I was just kind of yapping, So what's really cool to me is Des Moines Adams, thought to message me during the game. Like, I mean, how cool is that for a lifelong Husker fan to have, Des Moines Adams, who played for the national championship, think to message me, right? So he sent me a message about, I thought he's just kind of giving me grief. And I said, yes, that's why I host a fitness show instead of a sports talk.
Great
show.
response.
Yeah, he was just laughing. So it was pretty funny. So that's why we're fitness fanatics and we're not Husker fanatics on Sundays. So
you are the Husker fanatic.
But I don't know if I talked about this last week, but
I don't think so, because it was very new.
Yeah, we made kind of a last minute decision to go to Minneapolis. Ben, our son and I went. We left on Thursday about 7:30. Got up there to our parking spot around 5:15. It was a long drive. Traffic was ridiculous.
Just
to get
you
there.
and Ben?
Yeah, just Ben and I went. So first time we'd ever been there. It was really, really cool atmosphere. We had, a couple people throw the F-bomb at us as we're walking to the gate. I was
Hecklers.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you're throwing the bones the entire way.
No, we were walking around the stadium to get to our gate, and we had to, there's like 6 gates to get into the stadium.
That's it.
I mean, it's so many people trying to get in, but we were walking around the stadium, and all the students were lined up out to the street
to get in, or just to
get into this one
I didn't know
gate.
if they're just there to hype people up.
No, because they hadn't opened the stadium yet for anybody to get in. So we're like, all right, we're just gonna cut through. And the first couple lines we cut through, nobody said anything, and then we get through, and then all of a sudden we hear F big red, F big, and I'm just waving, thanks. And our son Ben's just like, this is awesome. 16-year-old just loved it. He's just he didn't say anything either, and then a couple students were like, oh, look out, we could get infected. And I mean, just, and then a couple people were just like, oh, it's going to be a long day for you. And I'm just like, we're used to it. It's fine, So just a couple thoughts from being there. I said it was really cool. A lot of red there, a lot of Husker fans. One of the most annoying things about the entire evening was every time they made a first down, the public address announcer would come on the air and say, it's another Golden Gopher. And then everybody would go, first down, every single time. So there were students, our fans, walking down the steps on purpose and doing that in our face
in front of your section.
And it was so
because you were in the Husker.
I was in the Husker section. We're 3 rows from the top, and there's a really nice walkway. You can walk around the entire top of the stadium.
It's a nice stadium.
Yeah.
I will give Minnesota credit. That's not too old yet. That's gonna be
and it's lots of leg room. When people walk by me, I didn't have to stand up. I just kind of scooted back a little bit. So it was really nice.
It's a nice stadium. Give them that.
But yeah, so anytime Nebraska did something good, or the Nebraska fans were like first down, and then they just the whole row of the boat just wanted to make you throw up the whole time. It's just
well, what do we do that visitors would think is annoying?
Go Big Red.
Most of the one we do on third down. When
Oh,
they're
that-
on third and
well,
every
that-
time they get on third down, I'm blanking on his. What does he say?
Well,
every
that's
time?
annoying.
Yes, it's annoying for me.
It's annoying for me too.
And I can't imagine it's great for the
Okay.
opposing
He
team
just
either.
says the third for like
But it's
5
really
minutes.
long.
Oh, it's just that's
It-
kind of annoying.
like,
Like,
I-
okay,
I've never noticed that.
It's the long. It's very drawn.
well, you've
out.
only
Yeah.
been to a couple
Third.
games.
I know.
but-
I haven't gotten to very many games.
Yeah, and probably our opponents didn't have very many third downs. So
Yeah,
True.
our stuff, everything we do that tries to be annoying tends to not work.
I know,
It
right?
feels like when we're like, yeah, we're gonna do the red lights, we're gonna have thunderstruck, and then you see Michigan on the field just going
Getting
nuts,
hyped up
getting
too.
hyped, and I'm like, it didn't really.
yeah,
It's not really working in our favor. It's kind of neutral, if anything.
The
yeah.
one thing that you guys said that I thought was annoying was that the PA would play music all the way up
Oh,
until
it
the
was-
snap.
I mean, we were lined up and they played that music until the ref left the line of scrimmage. So that was kind of, I mean, literally every time.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
kind of annoying.
rude, especially when we got that disconcerting signals
Yeah, I don't
call.
know. Yeah, I don't
Like
know what
that
was all
PA
about.
system isn't,
That's-
that's designed to create
Yeah, it was
confusion.
kind of, but
Let
overall,
the crowd do that. The crowd
overall-
is one thing. PA
overall-
is the other. another
overall walking out after the loss, nobody, I mean, we had an older couple that was talking to me. They're probably in their late 70s, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we remember when you guys came up here and beat us 84-0.
Trying to make you feel better.
Yeah.
on
Yes.
the way
And I
out.
was like, well, that was 40 years ago, but thank you. So they were really nice.
I
Like,
will say this: most of these, what I see on social media, anytime after a Nebraska loss, like we don't even get hazed anymore. It's almost like a worse category. It's like we genuinely feel bad.
I know.
Like
yeah.
we don't even. It's like kind of kicking a sick dog. Like,
Yeah,
that's how
it
bad
is.
they feel about it.
and my friends, they feel sorry for me now.
Yeah,
Where
they-
before I used to get harassed, and then now like nobody ever even messages me. They're just like, he knows. I don't need to say anything.
Now,
Like,
if it's a message, it's a
That's
checkup.
true.
Like, hey, you
Yeah,
okay? How you
that's
holding
true.
up?
are you,
Make sure
how
I'm
you
not
feeling?
That
inflicting
is-
self-harm.
I know.
That
So-
was my least favorite part about a loss because, I mean, at the gym, I probably heard it on Friday probably 15 times from people. How's Jeff doing? Like the same as everyone. How are you doing?
Right, how are you feeling?
Aren't we all disappointed?
Yeah, it sucks. The suckiest part is I had to drive
Oh.
home 7 hours like the
know.
next day.
Like,
But I'll tell
Yeah.
you, big shout out to the ticket because I was listening to the post game show with
Oh,
Nick and
nice.
Jay as I was sitting in a parking garage for an hour, not moving after the game. So I just like my car was in park and I just listened to the call in show until midnight. So
yeah,
it kept me company.
Oof.
that was the
kept me company.
because I was watching the end of the game in studio, and it was like after the Anthony Grant fumble, I shut this because we're watching on TV behind you. I shut the door, and then I was like, I can't, it's killing me. And then I was just standing for all those, standing in the corner, basically for all those who can't see me on the camera,
Yeah.
but just barely keeping my eyes on it, just like wincing at the TV because I just knew it just wasn't gonna happen. As soon as I saw them getting in the field goal range, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I did go to sleep. I went to bed during the fourth quarter when we were up, and my daughter and her boyfriend were still watching. And I was like, I'm going to bed, but I am fully prepared to wake up to a loss in the morning. And I woke up at 1 a.m. just at random, and I pull up Facebook and I just scroll until I see one of our friends comment something about, oh, here we go again, or whatever. I'm like, well, that answers that. And
Mhm.
went back to
See,
bed.
I feel like, I wish I would have been in bed because, like if you wake up and they lose, like you didn't have to witness it.
Thank you. That's
You don't
what
have
I
to
say.
see it happen. So you're just like, they lost. You don't have to live in the moment and stuff. But
Although no, because Friday I come in and what are you and Ben doing? Watching
was
the end
that
or
was
whatever,
yesterday.
watching the end of the fourth quarter because you recorded it on the.
we wanted to see it from the television side of it, like
Was it better? No.
because when you're there, you don't get to see like a lot of what
Yeah,
happens.
you're trying to catch it on the Megatrons,
Yeah.
whatever they got.
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you shut it off after the Anthony Grant, right? Is that when you shut it
No,
off?
it was after the last interception.
Oh,
Like,
that's
I've had enough.
Yeah, because the one fumble and then interception.
Yeah.
Was
He's
their
like,
last two
that's
possessions.
enough.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I know what happens.
But it is what it is. Fortunately for Farrell's, we had class the next morning, so people were able to come in and punch and kick their frustration out on the bags.
Do
Yeah.
you see a drop in numbers?
Well, yes, but
Just because
that's
it's game day,
It is
not
late.
even after a loss.
I think it's not having anything to do with the loss. I think it's having to do with the volleyball game and then the
Yeah.
football game. Like
Yes.
that's two super late nights for people
Yeah.
at the end of the week. So yeah, our classes were definitely lighter.
Well,
but
it's
I
Labor
just
Day
think,
weekend
and Labor
too.
Day
You know,
weekend.
people
that's
are
right.
out
Yeah.
traveling. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on. But typically in seasons past, AD would be texting me like, "Can we have class at midnight tonight?" You know, like asking if we'd come open the gym. So
Yeah.
we didn't get any of that.
Crystal did at Yankee Ridge when she taught. She did do a section of ball slam squats, and she was like,
Ball
"Take out
slams.
your
You guys should
registration."
just start offering those classes.
right, just
like,
open
hey,
gym.
Yeah, like 25% discount for one day. One day
Come in.
passes after a Husker loss.
Right.
You know, everything's 25% off. Take out your
Shoot.
registration.
Probably be
know.
retired if we did that over the last 5 years.
You guys, you'd have to open up another gym.
I know. Oh gosh.
But it's all in good fun. You know, you wake up and the sun comes up, and
Yeah, I'll
you
say
know,
this much:
Life goes on.
if you're saying we should have hired Dion, stop it. Just wait. Just hold on a little longer. I saw too
Yeah.
much of that yesterday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's one game.
Yeah, it's one game.
As your favorite quarterback Harrison said a few years ago, RELAX.
Yep.
Relax.
Mhm.
It's one game. So we'll see what happens. But on the positive side of life, Fitness Fanatics is sponsored by Integrative Life Choices. ILC is hiring direct support professionals all over the state of Nebraska, full-time, part-time, days, evenings, and weekends. If you're interested, you can apply at ilc.net/careers. Direct support professionals work to ensure a meaningful life for the people they support. They work to support people in achieving their hopes and dreams. So big shout out to ILC. Appreciate their sponsorship of the Fitness Fanatics. We're going to be joined a lot of our show today. We're going to be talking about, you can see if you're watching the stream, which, by the way, you can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and on Allo channel 951. Nicole and I are wearing our Run to Overcome shirts, race that we did last year where we met our guest, Amy Olson. Amy and her husband are going to be in here. They are the ones that started this race. So we're going to be talking about that. It's coming up on October 1st. So just in about a month from now. They also have a couple guests coming in at the top of the hour. So we're going to have a full studio here at the top of the hour. But Run to Overcome is all about suicide prevention, mental health awareness.
Mhm.
So something's very important subject. When we talk about fitness, you know, fitness isn't just good for your physical health, but it's also a big part of your mental health.
Mhm.
So Amy and her husband Brian will be joining us in studio coming up here in the next segment. And then pretty much the rest of the show, we're going to be kind of talking about that and why it's important to them, and with their guests coming up at the top of the hour. So we're going to have we're kind of, joking around here for this first segment, but we're going to talk about some important issues here for this show. So we're getting ready to hit up week 9 at the 10-week challenge. We don't always talk about the 10-week challenge with you guys. We don't want it to be a Farrell's infomercial, but our next 10-week challenge is starting October 7th. That is when the fall challenge starts. So if you're interested, you want some more details, you can go to fxblincoln.com for more info, or you can reach out to us directly. If you want to follow us on Twitter, I am JE Big Red. That's my initials, Jeff Essink. It's not Jeb, as some people call me.
Who?
Just some Tecmo people.
Oh, yeah.
So JE Big Red. I am on Twitter. Nicole is NK Essink. Right?
You only know that because you just started following me last Saturday. But yes.
I'm not a very good follow. I don't really.
You just start following her?
Yes.
Your wife?
Yeah.
Nice.
Last Saturday when I was tagging you about Willy Wonka, and I
That's
got the
funny.
notification that J Big Red follows you now.
Well, we see each other every day. So what's really
No,
the
I'm
point?
not a big Twitter person either. I don't always understand Twitter. So
I don't get involved. I don't tweet at anybody. I mean, sometimes I'll comment on, some of Raph's Denver stuff or whatever. But
I
other than
You
that,
had the viral Buffalo picture when you went out.
yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, see,
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, but
I
other than
retweet
that,
ticket tweets. I retweet 93.
yep, we'll do that. We'll retweet some shows and stuff like that. But I'm not one to get on there, and because I just don't. I don't know if I'm very thick-skinned to handle some of that stuff, So I just kind of keep my opinions to myself.
Yeah, if you gotta take it. If you can dish it out, you gotta be able to take it.
So I just try not to dish it out.
Right.
And if I don't dish it out, then I don't have to take it.
That's
so
true.
it's just,
You're just
kind of
an
how it is.
observer.
But we are getting into week 9. Coming up this Saturday at the gyms, we have our 3-hour last chance workout kickboxing marathon event for all of our members, really, at both gyms. We go 3 hours of kickboxing from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. What's cool for us is to see our 10-week challengers that the first day they were just out of breath after 5 minutes. And then 9 weeks later, you can go for 3 hours.
Yep.
And again, like I know some people out there are like, oh, you shouldn't work out for 3 hours. Okay. So it's kind of like running a marathon, right? When I go out to run a mile and I go as fast as I can, my fastest mile ever was like 7:37 or 7:35, something like that. Fastest I've ever ran a mile. Now, when I do a half marathon, I don't run a 7:35 mile.
Right.
I'm more like 11 and a half.
Yeah, it's an endurance.
It's fun. We switch instructors every 20 minutes.
We encourage people to take a break, grab a drink, have a snack.
Yep.
We encourage all that stuff.
Yes.
So it's definitely more of just a celebration of what we've accomplished in the last 9 weeks or whatever. So it's just kind of a fun. We call it last chance workout because back in the day with Biggest Loser, that's always what they called their workouts. Like right before they weigh in. So we do it Saturday, week 9. And then the next week 10 is all about final pictures, final weigh-ins, final measurements. So we kind of call it that just for fun. But it's something that a lot of our fit members they look forward to doing it too. So it's just a tradition we've had. So we're looking forward to continuing that.
Yep.
It's gonna be a long morning.
Yep. It'll be a long morning. And then, so we got that from 5 to 8. And then we got Nebraska, Colorado at 11. And then personally for me and Harrison on Sunday, we have the Bears Packers. Like it could be a glorious weekend for me, or it could be a week where I'm just like, I'm just totally done with football.
Yeah, I really don't want to go 0 for 2 for my football fandom. I'm not gonna say 0 for 2 because, like I said, game 1, relax. Let's see what happens. But that just would be a tough, that'd be tough to draw right
Bears,
off the bat. If we lose to the Packers,
Yeah.
I say what you will. Like PJ Fleck, I'm not gonna say I don't like hate the guy or anything, but right now it's a rival because they're 6-1 on us. Over the last 7 years, it's been brutal. Green Bay's had that since I've been alive, so I don't want to watch that one.
Almost since I've been alive.
Oh my lord!
Well, whenever Favre came in 91, 92.
Yep.
So for that game, it's just like, and Nicole's like, "Oh, Jordan Love,
he's not a rookie. He's not new. He's played for the team."
As a Bears fan, when you've played Rodgers and Favre for 40 years or 37, 92, now we're at 2023. So we're at 31 years that I've been dealing with this as a Bears fan. I mean, if you can't win the opener at home against the no Aaron Rodgers, no Brett Favre, Jordan Love Packer team, when you're Justin Fields, this is his year. You got DJ Moore, you got
Chase Claypool.
If they can't win that game, I mean, I am instantly just 2024 mock draft. I mean, it's done. Like I can't handle losing to Colorado and Green Bay in the same weekend. It would be
a lot
to
swallow.
It would be tough.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a third thing too that we were talking about that you could have like 3, maybe not?
No, it's just that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just those two. Mississippi Mud Dog chimes and says, "Go Pack, go!"
Right.
Again, of course.
Yeah.
Did you see?
That's
see our last guest? We did have another Bears fan for Bigger Than the Score. What was one of the parents? But
Oh,
had
cool.
Bears hat on. Yeah, we got a few more numbers up here.
Okay.
I just like shouting those guys out so I don't feel outnumbered.
We usually are outnumbered.
Yeah.
Or just the quiet group.
So yeah,
Bears
big weekend coming up here, and next, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but next week on the show, we have one of our members, Shannon. They are listeners of the Ticket. That's where Shannon heard about Farrell's, was listening to Ticket. Their daughter Autumn, which I believe is 7, is a big time Kids Ninja Warrior participant.
No way.
Yes, where she is actually going to be in the national finals coming up. She just qualified. They were down in Missouri, I think St. Louis. She just qualified for the national finals for her age group down in Orlando.
Was that going around when you guys were growing up? Because
No.
I've always been watching American Ninja Warrior.
We watched it,
Yeah.
but we were adults when it got started.
I wasn't sure when it originated.
It's been on for like 10 years.
It was
so
big in
like,
Asia at first, and we kind of plucked the idea.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
what it was actually called. It was called something else, but I think that's kind of where we plucked the idea. I'm not sure where it started, but
Well,
No,
we're
we've been
awesome.
big fans. We've watched American Ninja Warrior
Yes,
from the
yes.
beginning.
so she's going to be on with her mom, Shannon, and then also there is a Ninja Warrior gym in Omaha, and the owner of that gym is going to be in studio also, who's also
Sweet.
participated on American Ninja Warrior. So it's kind of some good timing, because if you watch American Ninja Warrior, the finals will be September 11th. So we'll have them on our show on September 10th. So we can get a little what they think. Who, we'll know who's going to be in stage 3, stage 4 if you're a big Ninja Warrior fan like we are. So we'll get their predictions and stuff. So that'll be kind of cool. One of the competitions Autumn was at, she had got her picture with Daniel Gill. It was, if you're a Ninja Warrior fan, you know who Daniel Gill is. He has the hair, the teeth, he's just like, he just looks like the perfect person. Right? He just looks like, he's just the smile,
Yeah. You're swooning a little bit.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does.
It's just, yeah.
Jeff definitely swoons over Daniel Gill. a little
Yeah.
bit.
So
Perfect human.
So yeah, pretty much. So yeah, she had her picture taken with him, So she did a little run yesterday and we were watching it. They had like a clip on YouTube that Shannon shared, and she's just swinging.
Could you guys
Really,
think
really
you could
cool.
ever do that? Like
No.
how far could you
We
go?
watch this. We watch and we've had Maggie Thorne on the show before too. So
Yeah,
we've had
a year
American,
ago she
and
was on.
Amy knows Meg. They're very good friends.
Yeah.
But no, I could probably, I don't even know if I could get through the first
No.
one where they have to like jump,
Well, that's the one
those
where if I
things.
don't go through that one, I'm going to be very
Right.
disappointed.
You're
with
tall though,
myself.
like
exactly.
you should be able to do that.
If you're
for
a
sure.
shorter person, I can understand how that'd be tough.
Right.
You really have to launch off.
Now, when I was a kid, I spent the entire recess on the monkey bars. Like, I probably could have done well as a kid. Like, when I was 7, I still have calluses on my hands from being a child and doing the monkey bars, like, skipping bars, skipping 3 bars. Like, I was really good at that. I could climb ropes. I could do all that stuff. So I probably could have.
And now we can't even hang on the pull-up bar for 30 seconds.
No.
We fall off. So
Yeah.
we probably wouldn't do very well.
No.
That's why I love that show. That show is like incredible. It kind of shows you how strong you can get.
Yeah.
Just like pure calisthenics.
Have you been watching it recently though? The last couple years, it's been
Probably just like highlights.
it's been taken over by teenagers.
Has it really?
Yes.
It's
and
amazing.
those teenagers are incredible. Like, they have no fear. They're so fast. They're so strong. Like, it's kind of funny to see because the teenagers are overtaking the like veterans, as they should, because the veterans are getting older. But the teenagers are fun to watch. So
It's always
yeah.
incredible. When they get to the salmon ladder, which is one where you got to do the pull up and you got to
Yeah.
lift the bar up.
Yep.
That one always to me just amazes me. How they're able to get that much upper body strength, to get enough
crazy.
momentum to lift the bar and do.
And they do it with ease.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
like you
that's
said,
one
they
of those
fly
things. If
through
you
it.
can't do the salmon ladder, if you fail on the salmon ladder, we are judging hardcore on that one, because it's like, that was like the OG. You should know. You should have that down pat.
Well,
And we wouldn't be able to make it up one.
they've changed the format this year, which has been really cool. Well, and so typically when they get to Vegas, they go through stage 1 and then they all run stage 2 individually. Well, this year, stage 2, they're doing head-to-head races.
Oh, it's gonna be fun to watch.
So they just fly. They
is.
fly through these courses. So they were doing and one of our favorite ninjas is Joe Moratsky, who's been on there since we've been started. And
Yes.
the reason we like him so much is because he just looks like me and you.
He is just an average Jeff. for
Just
sure.
an average Jeff out
Average
there,
Joe,
but he's like,
actually.
but he's hit more buzzers than anybody in the history of American.
He's
Ninja
no
Warrior.
Daniel Gill by
He's no
looking at
Daniel
him.
Gill,
Right.
but and
He never takes his shirt off.
Right. He doesn't.
Dad bod.
Yeah, and he hasn't ever won. The last 2 years, the final ninja standing was a teenager.
Yeah.
So he's won 100,000
It's crazy.
each the last 2 years.
Oh wow.
So like there's down 24 ninjas, and they have 12 head-to-head races, and so that's tomorrow night at 7. So Harrison, you need to set the DVR
I will. I love that show.
and watch it.
Yeah, it's
So
really fun.
next week when Autumn is in here, we can get her expert opinion and see, and you have something to be like, yeah, we watched that, because I guarantee you they will be watching.
Oh yeah, it'll be a nice side distraction too.
Yes,
in case
yes.
anything else goes awry this week.
Well, at least it's Sunday
and
morning.
calm your nerves about the game.
At least it'll be Sunday mornings.
Right.
We're not doing the show Sunday at 7 p.m. Then we'd really be in trouble.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point.
So,
You'll
all right.
still be hopeful.
Well, we're going to go to break. Amy and her husband Brian are going to be in studio with us. So we're kind of done with our jokes for the
Yep.
morning. So we'll get down to some
As usual.
serious talk with these guys when they come in. So don't go anywhere. 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior. If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Repair facility you can genuinely trust. We would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Do we need to rename him Jedi McCarthy?
Oh, yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, he kind of looks like Luke Skywalker.
Is Harbaugh his or his
Probably Obi.
JJ McCarthy? Find your Yoda. That's what you have to do to have season and be a first quarterback next year.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from the green screen stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skill alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at taylorpaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and Ad Council.
This school year is in full swing. Students are back in the class learning, making new friends, and developing new interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your student maintain a strong start to the school year. Whether your student is in high school or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning and how they are growing.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in the station.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults pre-diabetes? 33.3333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and Diabetes Awareness Partners.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury, was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degrees to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We are joined in studio by Brian and Amy Olson. They have started, well, we're going to be talking about a 5K coming up here October 1st. We first met Amy about a year ago at this time. She was on our show to promote the Run to Overcome, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So that's when we first met her. We actually met her through Maggie Thorne, who was a guest of ours. She kind of was talking about the event to us after the show, and she's like, hey, you need to talk to Amy. So that's how we met about this run. Yeah. So
which is crazy because we just talked about Ninja Warrior at the end of the last segment.
Yes. So that's where we first met you. So it's been a year, and a lot has changed in the last year for you because now you are a Farrell's member along with your son Zach.
That's right.
Yes.
Super excited. I reached out to Nicole in January, and I was looking for something for Zach, and we really needed something for him to be able, honestly, to just work on his, fitness, but mostly mental health. Winter are hard months, especially in Nebraska. So, my whole original plan was to just drop him off and bring a book while he worked out, and instead, I decided to give it a try, and I'm hooked. Yeah. And honestly, I was telling Brian on the way here, it was the best winter I've had for my own mental health in a long, long time.
Well, there's something about punching that bag. It's just like, especially for Zach after school, right?
Yes.
He could come right to Farrell's and just whatever happened that day, and, instead of, taking it out on you or you or anybody,
keeping it in
or keeping it
bottling
in
it up. Yeah.
True.
He can take it out on the bag.
Yeah. There were days he didn't always want to talk about his day. And then I said, well, we're going to talk about it afterwards. And we'd get to the car after kickboxing. And he's like, I'm fine now. I'm good.
That's
just take it all out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with kids in general too. I noticed this, and this was why our kids love Farrell's, is because they can, it's not like gym class, it's not like a sport, you know what I mean? And I think we try to treat the teenagers, the kids, just like we treat the adults in class, you know what I mean? So they can just come in and do their workout, and our kids are types of kids that like to be treated like adults. They don't like to be talked down to. So I think that's kind of what we try to do in class too. So and Zach is like a normal teenager, where sometimes he works really hard and other times you can tell that they're just phoning it in, but we all do that sometimes. So, but but when he gets after it, it's nice to see, because it's like, that's about more than just, punching that bag or
Absolutely.
just, burning calories. So it's
Yeah.
always good to see for kids, especially, to have that safe place that they can come and not feel like they're competing or being judged by their peers and stuff like that. So we try to keep that as a part of the atmosphere at Farrell's for sure.
Well, as AD says, sometimes you're level 10, you're going 100 miles an hour. Sometimes your level 10 is just, you're barely on that bag, but you're there.
You're there.
And you're moving, and, you might be working things out mentally, but because your mind might be other places, but it's still just some good therapy to be in there and be around like-minded individuals that, we're not judging anybody. I love it I wish we had more kids that came and worked out. Just because, it just brings a little bit more energy and makes us feel a little younger.
or older and older at the
Oh,
same time.
older,
Right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
So tell us a little bit about the foundation that you guys are represented and started. I don't know if we, Brian, we haven't even talked to you yet. You're well, Amy's probably the better half, but
definitely the better half.
So yeah, just tell us a bit about, I need to look at because I have a little wrist thing, Project 47. Tell us a little bit about that foundation and what that's all about and how it got started.
Yeah, so Project 47, we started it back in 2016. Its mission really is to bring awareness to mental health and the importance of mental health. Too many times, I think we don't think about mental health as much as we need to. When we started this journey back in 2010, when we lost my brother-in-law to suicide, there wasn't a lot of conversations around mental health. Now, in this day, more and more people are talking about it. We have celebrities, we have people in high profile positions now having those conversations. But part of what got us started and wanted to make an impact is my brother-in-law, he was a nurse and he wanted to heal people. And so we wanted to start down this path, and we didn't have it all figured out. We didn't have all the answers. We just knew we wanted to make an impact in this area. And so we started with the Run to Overcome, and Amy's going to talk a little more about that. But we've also looked for other ways, other partnerships, because it's about having a conversation about mental health, changing that stigma. Our hope is one day is mental health is no different than anybody's physical health. If they have a broken arm or something physical, it's a mental health. It's important. You have to make sure that you're being aware of that, because it is silent. It is behind the curtain. Not everybody can see it. And some people aren't even aware of it. And so a lot of what we do and the intent of the foundation is to bring that awareness, change those conversations, let people know it's okay not to be okay. And one of the things I love about fitness, so I'm into fitness, my wife, my son, I've ran my 13th half marathon here this spring. And so being physically active for me is something that's really helped with my mental health. And then I got to do my first kickboxing class at Farrell's a couple weeks ago and got to be on the bag. And I tell you what, when I walked out of there, I had a lot more clarity. And so that's one of the things that that we like with the fitness and partnering with other people, is to help get the word out and give people other tactics and strategies to help with their mental health. And so that's where the foundation came from. That's where the run. And we've got a number of other initiatives that we do along the way with that. But we've also got some great partners that we're finding on this journey. And as you know, mental health is complex. It is not easy. There's not a lot of easy solutions. And so we're all in this together, trying to find our way to ultimately help people have better mental health.
Yeah, I was thinking about this today because, we do talk a lot about how exercise can be such a real, just kind of a outlet for mental health. But then I was thinking too, because, whenever there's a positive about something, there's always a negative too. So I'm in the, that fitness space. So I see a lot of people saying, well, exercise isn't a substitute for, getting help and stuff like that, but I think we're going to talk about that because this is what helps me. This is what helps. We've seen it. This is the world we live in. But I also wanted to kind of talk about how each individual person especially if you're struggling with mental health issues at all, maybe fitness isn't what is your outlet, but I think it's important that you keep trying until you find what it is that you need. Because I have multiple things that help me. Like exercise is a huge one. Running for me is a great way to just get in my head, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like you kind of need that outward uncomfortableness to kind of balance what you're feeling inside, so it's kind of like bringing them together. But that doesn't mean that we're not only promoting fitness as a outlet for mental health. I really kind of wanted to put that out there too, because maybe people have tried exercise before and it didn't help them. Well, then it's important to keep trying. So maybe that's just finding a different hobby. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's crocheting as a one now. You kind of have to find what works for you. So I definitely wanted to still throw that out there. And I think that's what is great about what you guys are doing, is you're doing multiple initiatives, as you said, that are going to help people get connected, feel like they're involved, feel like they're not alone. And so we definitely want to talk about that stuff too. But I think it's important for us. This is what works for us. And of course, we're going to talk about that from our perspective. But I think it is important for people to like continue to find their thing. So kind of talk about that as far as like how the initiatives that you guys are kind of a part of.
Sure. We do two main initiatives. Help for the holidays. So with Christmas, we will wrap up the run and we'll pretty much go right into Help for the Holidays. So I believe this will be our 5th year for Help for the Holidays, where we match a Project 47 supporter with a family in need. They provide 1 to 2 Christmas gifts per child from a wish list. And so that child, you're fulfilling dreams and you're really helping often what is single parents provide for their children. And it brings a lot of joy and it brings hope. And so there's a lot of struggling families out there, and everywhere you look is just Christmas, 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 and what do you want for Christmas? And the one thing we love is that it is personal. The helper delivers the gifts to the receiver, and there's that human connection, and we're really big on human connection, people in need with people that want to help. And there have been some neat friendships even built out of that. It doesn't always end that way, but sometimes it does. And this last year, just actually a month ago, this year we did a new initiative called Fitted for Confidence. So we matched, again, Project 47 supporters to families in need. And what we did is provided a brand new back to school outfit or a brand new pair of shoes for school age children. So for the Christmas campaign last year, we matched 50 families, and that impacted around 180 kids. And Fitted for Confidence, it was brand new this year. We matched 25 families, and that impacted 63 kids. And we called it Fitted for Confidence because we just believe that a lot of those kids, you think of all the first day of back to school pictures. We wanted them to be dressed for success and to feel confident when they walked in those school doors. We believe that in itself was helping impact their mental health and how they feel about themselves when they walk in that door.
Yes.
Something we all didn't have to deal with when we went to school. Pictures.
I did.
No, I'm talking about like pictures,
Okay.
social media,
Right.
Snapchat, all that stuff that we just didn't.
Yeah.
I
grew up, I benefited from help at Christmas time and stuff like that for sure. I had people that would step in and help. I had a pastor that bought a new pair of shoes for me one year for school. And I can get emotional thinking about it because him and his wife taking me to the mall and buying a pair of shoes just for me, like that was that was probably the first time I'd ever like gone to a popular store and bought a popular brand of shoes. So that was very important to me too. So I've definitely have benefited that same thing from Christmas. We've had Christmases that, people have stepped up and helped as when I was a kid. So I can talk about it from that standpoint. And it is a very big, I know how that helps, but I also know how that helped my parents too. So I think that's such an important kind of thing to kind of help, like you said, connect people,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. So that's awesome. We helped out with both of those this past year, and definitely looking forward to getting more involved as a gym Farrell's with the holiday helpers this year. So I'm
Yeah, I
excited
think
about that.
we'll like we had a family of like 10 last
We
year.
had a big family
We had a
last year.
huge
Yeah.
family.
And
Yep.
and our members took care of them. And I mean, we probably could have done like 5 families. I mean, but it was the first one,
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely think that we'll be able, because we used to do we've always done something around Christmas. Like we partnered with Santa Cop a few times here in Lincoln, and then with Project 47 last year was perfect fit for us. And our members stepped up. Like I said, I'm sure we can do more families
Looking forward
this
to that.
year, because we
Yeah.
took care of them, that family of 10. Just, I mean,
People really
It's
just
pretty-
like that. They really do. I feel like it's taken off because of the human connection. They just love to see people, and it just the bonds, that relationship. It's really a neat thing.
well,
That's
and
great.
I think we take things for granted. Like, oh my gosh, my direct TV satellite isn't working. You just
Right.
get just absolutely irate when you can't. What's happening? Right?
Or
I mean,
try when your internet goes out at your house.
yes,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
like, so we
Yeah.
take
Yes.
those things we take them for granted so much,
Mhm.
and we don't think about how just getting a new pair of shoes for the first day of school would impact us. Okay, so what were you going to say there, Brian?
I was just going to say there are so many people that want to help. They just always don't know the way to do it, how to do it. And so
yes,
with the couple initiatives we've talked about, Holiday Helpers, Fit for Confidence, it's creating that opportunity for people who want to help. They just don't always know how. And so that's been great to see. And as Amy said, the relationships, the human connection, that's really what's important to us as we think about our foundation and our initiatives we go forward. The human connection is very important. And so that's what we're looking for, those type of initiatives to get involved with.
Well, and there's so many great charities out there, but sometimes like you don't really want to donate because you don't know where that money's going, right?
So true.
Yeah.
For like the Christmas one that we did, I mean, there were a few people that wrapped all the gifts, and Nicole and a couple other people delivered all of them. So it's like,
And we were like you said, I was in contact with the mother. So, you know, you have that connection.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing I really liked about Holiday Helpers too, if you have a family, you have kids of your own, get them involved too, because you get that wish list of what they want, and then get your kids involved too and have them help you. And then they are like growing up to learning, you know, that benefit of helping other people. Yeah. And giving back.
I noticed with our kids, they really did get excited. We did it as a family. And then the second year they're like, well, if there was a small family, they're like, could we just do our own? And, and it, instead of becoming, you know, what do I want for Christmas? It's what do they want for Christmas? And they're all of a sudden, you know, jumping really in feet first. They're like, what do they want, and what age are they, and I think they'd really like this, you know, and just making it about other people.
well, and I think for Nicole, like we had some of our members that, you know, at Venmo'd, and Nicole went out shopping, you know. Well, now our kids, they both have jobs.
Yeah, it
so
was really fun buying little kids stuff.
If they want something, they
Yeah.
just buy it.
Right.
With
Like,
their
so
own
like
money.
what do they need for Christmas?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
socks and like
Right.
stuff they don't want to buy on their own. But
Yes.
well, we're up against a break
Yeah.
here, so we have a short segment. We're going to talk a little NFL with these two when we come back from break. So don't go anywhere. Fitness Fanatics 93.7 The Ticket.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. So, hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitation of green screens to stereotype back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes and a bachelor's degree. Conferences to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help thank volunteers with a celebrate. Remember to register. Visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finally, to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I loved Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're
definitely
coming
back.
Sure.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place, then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down. Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association. In partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket.com.
All right, welcome back into the Fitness Fanatics. We're joined in studio by Brian and Amy Olson. They started the foundation Project 47. We're going to be talking about the Run to Overcome here in the next top of the hour. But real quick, I wanted to know which NFL team is your favorite, Brian, and how you became a fan of that team, the story behind that.
So I am a Los Angeles Rams fan. Now, you may be asking, how does someone from the Midwest like the Rams out in California? So Vince Ferragamo, if some of those Husker fans from the late 70s, he was a quarterback here in Nebraska, and he was the quarterback for the Rams when we went to the Super Bowl. And so somehow, some way, I started following them at that point, and then just fell in love with them. It stuck. And then I also became a Los Angeles everything fan. So any team from LA is my favorite team. Dodgers, Lakers. I'm not a Clippers fan. the LA Kings. And so that's just for whatever reason, that's what I decided. And I've stuck with that.
That was our son. He's a Ravens fan, and now he's an Orioles fan too. Like, you're like, well, might as well continue the tradition. So,
So now, how old were you when Vince Ferragamo became the quarterback?
Wow.
Are you just a little impressionable kid?
I was impressionable. Yes. I was probably 6 or 7.
That's how we all like became fans of teams. And we're like, I'm a Bears fan that I started liking when they won the Super Bowl. I was 7.
Yep.
I was like, this is amazing. Well, here I am 40 years later and haven't seen one since.
And I had no influence from my family. I just somehow, some way.
Oh, are they NFL fans too?
Not as much. They're more college football fans.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah. That's why we always like to, ask. And you'd be surprised. A lot of fans, because we don't have a professional team in Nebraska, a lot of people become NFL fans because of Husker players. And they kind of just
like
move
the
on with
Niners
them.
are a big one.
Niners are a
Roger
big
Craig and Tom Rathman and stuff. So,
which we enjoy that too. We enjoy following Huskers and then NFL.
Now, last year, I remember seeing you had taken, you guys went to a game out in LA.
We did. First NFL experience. We were at SoFi Stadium, absolutely beautiful stadium, and got to see them get beat pretty handily by the Buffalo Bills.
Well, there's no shame in that.
Really. What was interesting, there were more Bills fans in the stadium than there were Rams fans.
Really?
Yes.
I think by that time, it kind of went off the rails, right?
Pretty much.
Injuries. And the season was kind of over at that point.
Yep.
So now it's just going for the experience.
Yeah. So
kind
we
of like us
enjoyed
at the Minnesota Gopher game. We lost,
Oh.
but we had some good memories.
It's a beautiful night.
Yes. That was a great night. That was about the highlight of the East. So
The weather was nice.
all right. Well,
Awesome.
we're going to take a
Okay.
break. We're going to be joined. We have a couple more guests coming in here in studio. So don't go anywhere. Top of the hour coming up on 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska, offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
September is National Literacy Month, a time to encourage the young people in your life to go to the library, pick up a good book, and explore new worlds. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane has been changing.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold on like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov, by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Old School with DP and J.
You know, earning a black shirt is a great honor. I mean, obviously you got coaches that haven't been here before, but at the end of the day, they understand somewhat of what it means. And the majority of the guys, or the guys that got them, they must be doing something right. Me personally, you know, that was just something I never forgot, man. It was just when I was on campus, because I never envisioned myself doing anything until my senior year.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket and soon the Kid Zero for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternatives rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This school year is in full swing. Students are back in the class learning, making new and developing new interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your student maintain a strong start to the school year. Whether your student is in high school or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning and how they are growing.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this state.
Alexa, play The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
Their age?
the way they speak. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerinAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 Ticket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essink.
Welcome back to Fitness Fanatics. No, you're not, you didn't change the channel. It's Nicole doing the intro. We have a full house today. So we had the boys kind of step out. So it's just the ladies and Harrison in studio right now, but definitely want to get back into talking about Project 47 with Amy. We have a couple guests, Paul and Haley. So if you want to kind of talk, Amy, about how you guys kind of have been connected, and we'll kind of go from there.
We did. In April 2010 is when our family lost my brother Adam. And since then, we've been on a journey to bring more hope and help to mental health and awareness. And on that journey, we have met Paula Von Bush and Haley Gillette. Haley is now also on the Project 47 board with us. And just want to let them share a little bit about their journey and what happened in their life in April of 2020.
Yeah, we lost my brother to suicide in April of 2020. And it was really hard for our family. And I knew Amy through her sister, and we kind of got connected, and she really was my saving grace. She really helped me through a lot. And then we've kind of just been partnering up and, trying to team up to get the word of mental health. And as Brian said earlier, just end the stigma.
Absolutely. Haley introduced me to Amy, and my mom reminded me something. I mean, the weeks, the days, the months, whatever after that sort of loss, you're all foggy. But my mom reminded me, you said you weren't going to let Michael's memory die, and you wanted to do things to help even one person. And that's the thing. You will never know if you did help one person or not, but we don't care. We're going forward. We do the cornhole, kick depression and the cornhole. I can say that right, but this is our second year for that. We started out with just doing a walk, and it was mostly family, a few friends. We raised a lot of money for mental health, and then my son-in-law said, "Hey, let's do this. If we're gonna do it, let's do it." So last year we raised $1,500 on a rainy day, just literally throwing it together quickly. This year we raised close to 7,000. Wow. Our goal was 3. So thank you, everybody, my husband, everybody involved. We just we're so proud of it. And yeah, so that's kind of how we got connected with Amy, and she's amazing.
Yeah, it was the cornhole tournament was an amazing day. They have a beautiful acreage just right outside of Lincoln, and just had all these cornhole boards set up. And I think you say 31 teams,
32 teams.
32
this year.
teams.
Wow. Yeah, 14 last year. So
And then a silent auction and raffle item. People were just there, all for, I've noticed, it's really good to gather, gather in honor of Michael, gather in honor of Adam. There's countless other families that are coming out and coming together. And one of the things about the run is there's a lot of survivors. And the one thing I've learned about survivors is it's really important to connect with other survivors and to, again, create those relationships. And survivors have their own grief to deal with, and it doesn't just go away. They're at risk for suicide themselves. Grief of a suicide. Those statistics are really glaring as well. So if we can all come together and support each other, that's really important.
Yeah, to kind of go along with that, and what all of you in here, for our listeners who maybe haven't quite been affected by suicide as much, I know a lot of times when you lose someone unexpectedly, we've had a couple friends that have lost children unexpectedly, and I know that's a running theme, that you just don't want their memory to be forgotten. You want to keep their memory alive. What's some advice you could give to people who don't know what to say, but they want to give support? Like, what are some of the things in the years as you're healing, and kind of from that, what are some of the things that have meant a lot to you guys, just to kind of help our listeners? So that's an okay kind of thing to talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's not being afraid. I mean, we live it every day. We know they're gone. I mean, you bringing it up isn't going to remind us. It's not gonna. I want to talk about Michael loud and proud, and that to me, don't be afraid to talk to us. I mean, we've been through, one of the worst things you can be through, and so don't tell me I'm strong. It wasn't by choice. I didn't want to be strong. I mean, being strong is working 2 or 3 jobs to support your kids, not burying your child. I mean, so to me, just talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. I will share whatever you need me to share. I know Haley, my daughter, she is a teacher for special needs down in Beatrice, and she's actually going for her second master's in mental health. And she reminds me a lot of things that I need to be reminded of. And basically just, hey, Mom, everybody has a story, and sometimes I'm quick to judge, and sometimes I'm quick to take things for granted. And you wouldn't think when you've been through this, you would, but you do. You still do. Still human. And but yeah, just be kind. You don't know anybody's story, and be willing. Just listen.
Yeah, just give people grace, and especially the people that have lost people to suicide. And, also another kind of new thing that's arising, and especially like my mom said, I'm going through actually school counseling, but we talk about ending the stigma of saying committed suicide rather than maybe died by, because when you say committed, it acts like they did something wrong when they were, just having their own internal struggle that they couldn't get over.
That's a really good kind of message to get out there too. And I think that another thing that I know of just from having friends that have lost children or brothers and sisters, I feel like committed also, it's such a, like, I don't think it was a commitment. It was a, you know what I mean? So a lot of times it's just a rash decision. It's a split decision that has a forever consequence. So I do think that that's an important thing to talk about and to think about and to change, because, there's not very many things. We can make lots of bad decisions in our lives that, that have consequences, but we can get over that and overcome that. And so I think that it's an important kind of way to think about it too. So thank you for kind of shedding light on that, because that's a good thing to keep in mind. So what about you, Amy? What are some of yours?
I would agree with both what Paula and Haley shared. I will say what makes our hearts smile, especially in on from here for 13 years. And so is when someone says, oh, this person knew your brother, and to share a story
that you've never heard.
Yes. Or if we'll find a picture that somebody that I'd never seen before, because there are no more photos. And I would say post loss, and this goes for any loss, is instead of asking, what do you need or what can I do? Honestly, just do something for them. Pick up a case of water and drop it off. Pick up napkins, paper plates, paper towels, plastic silverware, a gift card to any restaurant in town. They don't know what they need and they're not able to express it. So whatever you do, as long as you do something for the family, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Right.
Just
And I think
be
just
present.
think about, it's not that hard to imagine how you feel in that grief in that moment. I think what's harder is imagining moving forward. But in that moment, if you just think, what would I appreciate in that moment? I don't think that's going to go unappreciated by any family. Yeah. So I think that's another maybe good way to do it. But did you guys want to talk about Michael a little bit? Talk about his story, talk about, kind of the memories that you guys have of Michael?
Well, he was one of a kind, and unfortunately, he did struggle with mental health for quite a long time. And like they had said earlier, probably just in the last 10 years is when mental health has been brought up a lot more. And, back then it was kind of pull your bootstraps up, figure it out. And now I'm really glad that we are addressing, the need and how important mental health is. But yeah, Michael was very kind. He loved to help people. He just was a great person, and he wasn't selfish. He was going through his own struggles. But yes, I just think that a lot of times, like, people that die by suicide get associated with being selfish.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Michael, I remember to me, he had $20 to his name, and he was downtown, and there was a homeless man. Mom, I gave him my last $20. I'm like, Michael, that's so sweet, buddy. But come on, what he's gonna do with it? Just care, Mom. He needed it more than me. I mean, that's the kind of guy he was, and I mean, he'll always be a kid to me. Just a great guy, and I mean, of course, I'm going to say that he's my son, but I think a lot of people would vouch for that. But literally the week before he left, we had a really deep conversation up in our kitchen, and he's like, Mom, you don't have to worry about me anymore. I don't want to die. And those words were like, oh, I can breathe again. I can breathe again. And the day before he left, he was up. We hadn't been in our house for very long, so he's helping me move furniture around. We're laughing and just had the best day ever. And finally, he's like, Mom, am I excused? You want to go hang out with friends? And I said, yeah, buddy, I appreciate your help. We'll finish up tomorrow. Well, that didn't happen. But I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those undescribables. And that's why we are taking everything that with Amy and Project 47 so seriously, because I mean, there's so many people, like one of my mom's concerns, nobody was there to help Michael. And I'm like, Mom, it's not like you can just take we had him to doctors, all of it. And he couldn't find his fit. And I said, we just got to keep trying. You just got to keep trying, whatever. And Mom was so frustrated with that. She goes, well, then why do you want to help people? I said, because do you feel the frustration that you felt that nobody was there for Michael? I don't want anybody else to feel that frustration. So that's why we're doing it. And I'm just so thankful that we did connect with Amy, because we do know where the money's going, and it's a good place. And, you know, I was mentioned earlier, I think your husband said something that people don't know where the money's going. We know where the money's going, and we'll do anything we can to help.
Well, and I think that's what the race, that's how you get connected to that. And you know, you see it. It's not just, you know, making a donation. If you can actually be out there and be part of those events, and you're, you know, you see that, I think that's important too.
For sure.
I like how you tie all that in. So it's a community effort also.
For
I think after we lost Adam, I remember myself just having conversations myself internally, just saying why. You know, why did this have to happen? Why did he have to die? Why did he have to die this way? And just why? I just could not. I remember standing at the grave saying why. And over time, my why became a what. You know, what am I going to do with this pain? If I can choose to let it sit and fester, or I can do something. And so I know with Paula and Haley and their whole family, they're finding their what. I'm sure they ask themselves why too. Everybody does. But when your why becomes your what becomes really powerful, and you can be an agent for change. For sure.
Well, and I just from listening to both of you talk, when you talked about how it's not selfish, and you talked about a week prior, he had said he wanted to live. I think those two things tie together so well, because I'm sure he meant that. And I'm sure he meant that all the way, you know, and that shows you how important it is that we're helping with the mental health awareness, because it's not a selfish thing. What is selfish is for us to believe that we know what was going on in that moment. That is the selfish part, because you know that you're loved and you've had great memories, and then that still, it seems like that is the choice. That is, you know, that's heartbreaking. And I think that, you know, both of you guys talking about that is really important to kind of put a spotlight on, because like I said, it's such a it's just a split decision, in the moment decision, where, you know, it has lasting consequences. And I don't think it's a selfish thing at all. It's something that you don't always have control over.
Right.
I would say most of us never thought, out of all the survivors that I've met, some of them knew that their loved one was struggling with mental health, but there's a lot of people that honestly were completely blindsided. But I've always said since this that everybody knows somebody, even one person that's struggling. And if you really feel like I don't know anybody, I just always say, well, live a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And you will.
Or look a little bit harder.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because I
Everybody
think the
knows somebody.
people who say it's a selfish decision, they haven't actually been affected by it in the way that other people have. You're not going from seeing someone one day happy and laughing and vital, and then them not being there the next day. Like you can't understand that unless you have lived through that. And I haven't lived through it personally, but I've lived through it where, I mean, both of our children, our daughter's 20, our son is 16. They have both lost friends to suicide. So I've had multiple friends that have lost children. So it's something that we've been around. So once you're around it, you definitely start looking at it differently. So I think it's important that you guys are here to talk about that and help, like we say, end the stigma, but also just educate people that, you know, it's not something that you can always see. You don't see it on the horizon. You might know that they're struggling, but we just have to talk about it more and have it be kind of out there, and hope that, you know, that'll help someone, like you said.
And just being able to listen sometimes, like, and not always having something back to say. Just sometimes people just need to talk, and you just listen.
Yeah.
We did have a comment on Facebook. Tina Hansen said, very informative, great hour of awareness and the stigma. Project 47 is a great organization. Please consider walking or running in the Race to Overcome race in October, which we will talk about more in the next segment. But we definitely wanted to make this one about, talking to survivors and giving your account and what this means to you and what we can do to, to help going forward. So do you guys have any last kind of comments or, anything else you want to say?
Just kind of tying into what we were talking about. You don't think it's ever going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the last thing I ever thought I would go through, or my daughter or my family. And so, yeah, just being, whether they're talking about it. Michael was talking about it. I mean, Michael had attempted. And, but so I guess we had the signs, but then he was at a place where, no, Mom, I'm good. I'm good. He was happy. He was himself again. He totally threw us off. And I don't know we'll never know the whys. We'll never know. If he had been planning it, we will never know. But my point is pay attention. I mean, again, listen, be a friend. If you suspect anything, go to somebody. I mean, whatever. And there's a lot of resources that haven't always been there. And I think that's amazing. But the mind is just you can't take an x-ray and, oh, this is what's wrong. Let's do this and it'll be fixed. It's not like a broken arm. I mean, so complex. And not going to one doctor is going to solve it. And possibly it might take going to 2 or 3 doctors or whatever it is, or exercising or crocheting or whatever. I mean, just keep trying. And you do matter. Everybody matters. And you were wanted. So
yeah, just be kind. You don't know what somebody's going through, so just be a kind human.
What are some of the resources that you guys kind of would recommend or have had experience with for someone who might be struggling? Are you familiar with kind of resources that are out there?
Nothing was helpful for us.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I'm not dogging anything, but I mean, Michael we just never found it for him. But a lot of it too is
it was a different time too.
Want to, I don't think. I mean, you have to want it. And I think that was part of it for him. But just keep trying.
Finding the right therapist. I mean, sometimes I feel like you need to your personality maybe needs to match with your therapist, because even I've had a few that I haven't necessarily liked, and just keep trying, just like a doctor if you need a different therapist.
And I feel like most therapists would agree to, it's not like you're going to, because, you're not going to hurt their feelings or whatever if it's just not a fit. So I think that's a one to kind of think about too. Like, it's okay to, to kind of find a different resource if it's not working out for you. So, all right. Well, we are going to wrap up this segment. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and
thank you.
We'll see you guys in October for the race. We'll be there too. So we'll definitely see you guys, but we appreciate you guys coming in and talking about Michael and your experience.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living rooms and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career, support people with developmental disabilities, conditions, along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
If you someone struggling with hunger, would you recognize them by their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy?
His first job, not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner.
Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the one innate American who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Bank Strong, and the Ad Council.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical industry? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People Seeding Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and then check home or whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Old School with DP and J.
You know, earning a black shirt is a great honor. I mean, obviously you got coaches that haven't been here before, but at the end of the day, they understand somewhat of what it means. And the majority of the guys, or the guys that got them, they must be doing something right. For me personally, you know, that was just something I never forgot, man. It was just when I was on campus, because I never envisioned myself doing anything until my senior year.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. On the block with Strick and Austin.
Do we need to rename him Jedi McCarthy?
Oh, yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, he kind of looks like Luke Skywalker.
Is Jim Harbaugh his Yoda or his Obi-Wan?
Probably Obi-Wan.
JJ McCarthy, find your Yoda. That's what you have to do to have a successful season and be a first-round quarterback next year.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Scores. Full students are back in the class learning, making new friends, and developing new interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your student maintain a strong school year. Whether your student is in high school or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning and how they are growing.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, them by their clothes, their age, the way they speak, would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner, or a 14-year-old who signs up to every after-school activity not to make friends, but just to get something to eat, or a retiree who fell ill and had
Between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Shiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Welcome back here to the Fitness Facts. We've been joined in studio by Brian and Amy Olson. We're talking a lot of mental health awareness today on the show. We want to get into the big run that's coming up here on October 1st, the Run to Overcome. Cole and I will be out there. Farrell's is one of the sponsors for the run. We're actually going to be doing the warm-up for both the 1 mile fun run and the 5K. So one of us will be out there doing that. So that'll be fun. So hopefully if you're out there listening, you're listeners of the Ticket, Fitness Fanatics, we encourage you to come and join us. In fact, we're going to be giving away 3 entries to the race. So if it's something, the race is on October 1st. It's a 1:00 start time for the 5K, which is good for us because we have a radio show till 11.
Yeah.
So
the 5K is at 1 or
yeah,
is the
5K is at 1,
okay.
right?
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
5K
The
is
1
at
mile's
1.
at 12:15.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's good for us because we have a show. So most of these runs are like at 9:00, 10:00
Right.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's the 5K starts at 1. So if it's something you want to participate in, we have 3 entries into the Run to Overcome that we're going to give away to our listeners. So first 3 people that shoot us a text message on the text line at 402-464-5685, or you can message us on the Facebook page. We will make sure we get your info and get you an entry into the Run to Overcome. So if you're listening to this, podcast, you can still hit us up if we haven't given our 3 out. We'll make sure we get you one. So again, 402-464-5685. You can text in. We'll make sure we get information to you.
And it's about more than just a run. You don't have to run it. You can, it's about more than that. It's the fun of, people. And so don't be worried that we're going to make you run a 5K, So
yeah, Nicole and I
sign
aren't
up.
going to be behind you,
No.
just like, go.
Why are you walking? You
No.
definitely just, it's a 3-mile, stroll that you'll be taking. So don't be intimidated by the 5K part of it. You'll have all types of, people that are super competitive and families that go out and just spend that time together. So don't be intimidated by that. But why don't you guys talk a little bit about it too? Like, how long have you been doing the run and kind of how it's progressed throughout the years?
Right. Run to Overcome started 13 years ago, 12 years ago. And Brian and I have led it up for the past 7. We had 1 virtual event due to COVID, and 5K, 1 mile. You're exactly right. There are, I would say, once we get all of our registrations in, I would say we have half walkers and half runners. So this event is truly for all ages and all ability levels. It is, we meet in the parking lot of Elevation Health near 84th and Old Cheney, and we'll be on the Billy Wolf Trail. And it is a beautiful path, and there's quite a bit of shade.
There's a lot of shade because it goes past that like golf course and stuff, right?
Yes,
It goes,
yeah.
Mhm.
It's beautiful, and there are a lot of families. There are a lot of people out there that have loved and lost, and there's a lot of people that are out there for their own mental health, and there's a lot of people that have their own battles and struggles, and they're doing it for themselves. And we'd love to see all the smiling, happy faces. We always say that although the subject matter is kind of a heavy one, race day, there's a lot of joy. So, and that fellowship is that piece is really important for people. I know last year I had a really great moment. We're 13 years post loss, so our grief looks a lot different these days. But I saw a seasoned grief mama reach out to a mom that was very fresh to loss, and I got to witness that that interaction between the 2 moms that have both lost sons. And I just realized that our why is so much bigger than I probably can even wrap my head around. I know another person that I just recently met. We were talking to how this is a fundraiser, and it is. And he said, I like to think of them as a friend raiser.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? That's so true. There's so many connections that have been made through this event, and they continue on. And I could go through my Facebook friends list, and I could see how many people I've met along this journey that have loved and lost, or that also struggle with mental health themselves. And it's a neat thing.
Very cool. And then you said that you have also, especially for like our listeners that listen later, because we know we have a lot of podcast listeners, you said that you have a discount code for our listeners. Yeah. So if you want to share how you can sign up and how you can take advantage of that.
Yes. If you want to go to the Project 47 Run to Overcome, there is a link there. The race website is runsignup.com. And if you are listening in on the ticket, there is a coupon discount code box on registration. If you just type in the ticket, that will get you $5 off your registration fee. So, and that is good for the 1 mile fun run or the 5K.
Very cool.
So,
and I dropped the registration link into our Facebook feed too. The live feed too for anybody who wants to sign up. But we do still have the freebies going out there too. But yeah, that's awesome.
And can I just add,
Yeah.
there is a virtual option.
I
So
was
for
gonna-
those that cannot make it out, there's an opportunity to support and run it virtually or walk it.
Absolutely. We had somebody do it virtually when they were in Jamaica. So, you can truly do Run to Overcome wherever you are.
You've talked about how you have multiple states
We do.
represented.
I think we have about 6 states represented. We'd
So-
love to have
Yep.
the whole map filled up. So we'll see. Also, be sure do not miss the t-shirt deadline. I mean, if you're going to sign up, we rep our Run to Overcome t-shirts just about every day at our house. So it's half of our wardrobe, but we have some neon colors this year we're super excited about. So that is Sunday, September 10th. So
Next
you have a
week.
week.
Yeah.
Yes, a week. You just don't want to miss the t-shirt deadline.
That's
I'm
one of the best
mixed.
parts about doing 5Ks.
It
is
is.
the swag that you get,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we'll have a live DJ, prizes, refreshments on the 1 mile fun run. There's ribbons. So yeah, we're excited.
And what's the cost of the 5K?
$25.
So
$25 for the 5K. That's cheap.
So with the discount, it's $20.
$20.
Right.
And if you go buy a shirt like we're wearing our Run to Overcome shirts,
Yeah.
I mean, the shirt's going to cost you 20, 25, 30 bucks.
Yes.
Right.
So
Basically,
yes.
you get it's the cost of a shirt.
That's right.
And before last year was the first year we had done it, and I was the race, and I wasn't familiar with the run, but I had seen a lot of people wearing the shirt. So it's also a great way to do the race, and then you're wearing your shirt at the grocery store and stuff like that. And then that's just a cool way where people will be like, oh wow, you have a connection with someone, even if you don't say anything to them, so that is cool to get a shirt and wear it. I know last year, because these were last year's shirts, and you can't see it. I mean, it's radio, but if you're watching on TV, I have these really great pants that match this shirt perfectly. And I was so bummed because I have a rule where I can't wear the race shirt until I finish the race. So I was bummed because my pants match the shirt perfectly, and I couldn't wear it on race day because I couldn't break my tradition.
That's a runner's.
That's mine. That's my runner tradition.
Brian, when you wear, so you did the Lincoln half, did you wear your 2023 Lincoln half shirt for the Lincoln half, or do you wear it later?
I wear it later.
Okay, so you're kind of how we are.
Too.
Yes.
You have to
I'm in
earn
that
it
camp,
first.
You got to earn it first.
Yeah.
I usually like to wear a Run to Overcome shirt out there just to
there you
say
go. Yeah.
encouragement and
Yes.
advertisement. So spread
Yeah.
the message. So it's funny, every now and then I'll see a few out there on the race route. So
Some of them we call vintage. We're like, wow, that's a vintage.
Yeah,
Like, we've
that's
been
so
doing
cool.
this for a while now. We're like, is that from the first
Yeah.
year? Like, you still have that
Yeah.
shirt?
I had definitely recognized the logo prior to being familiar with the race. So I've seen lots of people wearing them. But yeah, that's my tradition. Some people have a tradition to wear that shirt, and that's fine too. I'm not judging you, but I just couldn't do it, especially my outfit was so on point,
So,
which I will wear it
I'm
next.
assuming you're going to be wearing this.
This is what I
outfit.
will be wearing. Yes, because I did this race and I earned this shirt. So this will be my race day outfit. And I'll wear I probably have a pair of pants that match this year's too, because it's so super duper colorful. So, but yes, I was really bummed last year that I couldn't match my outfit so perfectly because I had to finish that race first. But
Well, now you can.
I know I'm going to.
Anything else you guys want to talk about for the upcoming run, or I mean, any final kind of touches you want to put on this?
No, we're sitting at 120 registrations right now.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
we're
that's
excited about that, but we really just want you to come out. It's for a good cause. All the funds do go to Project 47, and our mission with that is to put all the funds that they stay local and they go back into. We're just committed to youth suicide prevention efforts within our community.
Yeah. So what does Project 47 then contribute to? Like, what do you guys do?
So this last spring in May, we donated $20,000 to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools, and that money is used for their Hope Squads. So Hope Squads is fairly new. I think it's in 1,500 schools throughout the nation, and Lincoln Public Schools now has, I believe, in every high school and every middle school. And it's kind of a peer-to-peer suicide intervention program.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So
that's very cool.
Yeah. So again, we'll be looking for other opportunities similar to that. And
Yeah. How can people get a hold of you if they, maybe want to kind of connect or kind of talk about that with you? How would people people get a hold of you guys for that?
We have our Facebook page, which is just Project 47 Run to Overcome,
Mhm.
but we also Project 4-7.com .org is our website.
Okay,
and
cool.
there's a contact button there. So if you Google us, you'll find us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Any final parting words, Brian?
You
On
know
the
what?
on the run?
I am looking forward to it. This time of year, I always get a little nervous as we're pulling this all together. Part of my job is to make the run go seamless. So you wear a bunch of different hats, and we introduced some new things this year that I'm going to have to get up to speed on and learn, and I'm excited for that. But no, we're excited, and time of year is always fun, and ready to meet some new people and connect with people.
Oh, I was going to ask too. Do you guys, are you still looking for needing volunteers at all, or do you feel like?
I think we're pretty solid.
Okay, good.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah.
wanted to throw that out there just in
Yeah.
case you kind of needed
Yeah.
some, but very
sign,
cool.
sign up.
Sign up.
1
right.
mile, 5K. Do it virtually.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at. Do it for someone you love. Do it for yourself. Do it for
And
both
just to
reasons.
support other families too. You know, just
Absolutely.
get out there and be a supporter people. So
absolutely.
yeah.
So
I
come
agree.
hang out with us. We'll be-
$20. I mean,
I
come
know.
out and just cheer people on.
Yes.
You know,
And you can hang out with the fitness fanatics. We'll be out there. So
Will you
that's
guys be
gonna-
signing autographs that day?
Oh,
sure.
You know, nobody's really asked me for an autograph at any of these events. I mean, maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
And we'll do our best to get some Farrell's runners out there. I know we have a few that did it with us last year, and there'll be more doing it this year. So
Well, you said if you can, make it through a 45-minute kickboxing class,
Yes.
you can
anybody, yes,
run
you
or
can-
walk a
yes,
5K.
Yeah,
yes.
You can do it.
pretty handle. I mean, walking a 5K in 45 minutes is completely doable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even if it's more than 45 minutes, we just use that because our classes are 45 minutes. So
Yep.
you're used to doing 45-minute workout, whatever that is, but especially at Farrell's, 100% you can do a 5K in 45 minutes. It's a 15-minute mile. I mean, you got to walk a little quick, but and even if it takes longer than 45 minutes, it doesn't matter. Especially 5Ks for me, it's a great opportunity to be a part of the atmosphere. So, I almost wouldn't want to try to get a PR in a 5K, because it's like I could do that myself and what my fastest time would be. But most of the time when you sign up for a 5K, you're signing up to support the cause. And so why would you want to just like race through that, enjoy it? I know you guys have like a lot of signage along the route, stuff like that. So, for me, some of the most memorable races that I've done have been connected to a cause. I talk about when I got injured doing the half marathon for Oklahoma City. It was the 10-year anniversary of the bombing of the Oklahoma City building, and I got injured at mile 5, but I could still walk. And so you walk along the race. There's banners for every person that was lost that day. You're amongst people wearing shirts like in memory of Aunt Pam, so it's like I wasn't going to quit. I walked 8 miles of a half marathon because I could, but if that hadn't been that connection, I probably would have pulled, kind of threw in the towel. But like you get in that moment. So enjoy the time that you're in there and just enjoy kind of part of something bigger. That's what I would kind of recommend to people if you're nervous about a 5K, but you can do it 100%. You could do it.
Yep. So again, October 1st is the race day. We'll make sure we get up on our streams where you can sign up for that. It's also on the Facebook stream if you're watching later.
And we haven't promoted it a ton in the gym because we were waiting for the radio show. So our members be ready to be inundated because I know
we'll get
Amy
that out
shared
there.
it, but we'll be talking about it more. We still have 4 weeks, 4 weeks until race day. Plenty of time to kind of get ready and wrap your mind around kind of that 5K. Get your kids involved, do the mile or the 5K, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Husker football with these two, see how their emotions are running after the Thursday night game. So we'll finish up here on 93.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Game Show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage that you need for action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate Pregame Show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional of VHH Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Beer's Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 50 across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock-face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at your Nebraska Advent.com, sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
This is your captain. You're going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWreck.org. A message by the National Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
September is National Literacy Month, a time to encourage the young people in your life to go to the library, good book, and explore new worlds. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, and the world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska.
This is how we do every day. We grind, and if you want to come and check them.
If you love them enough to turn on your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the Ad Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veteran. Get your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y Ad Council.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree to stereo, hold over 70 million stars. Workers alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, last segment here. Again, we're up promoting the Run to Overcome, which is on October 1st. We have a 1 mile fun run and a 5K. Mile fun run. So it starts at 11:45 or noon, right?
12:15.
12. Oh,
close.
Third time's
Very
the charm.
close.
Right.
12:15. I guess the later the start, the better for us, so we can get out there.
Well, you have your warm up.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
And then 1 o'clock for the 5K. So plan on joining us out there. It's $20. You can get $5. Well, it's $25. You can get $5 off using the promo code The Ticket. So we appreciate all the listeners. We want to do a little Husker football talk here with our guests, which we always love to do. So Brian, I'm assuming that you knew there was a game on Thursday night and you stayed up and watched it.
Fully aware.
Okay.
And I did stay up and watch it. Can I just say for a moment how happy I am to have this platform to talk about Husker football versus just my wife and my friends.
Right.
So I've been dreaming about this moment for a long time.
Well, this is your moment. You got about
What is
4
your-
minutes.
break it down.
Here we go.
Give us the analysis.
I won't go deep into analysis. I will just say this. I saw a lot of positive things.
A lot.
I
saw a couple.
I did see some positive things, but you have to understand I've seen a lot of negative things in the past. So I'm looking towards the future.
Yes.
And this is that first step.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My expectations for this game was to lose by double digits.
Ooh, okay.
So we didn't.
Set the bar low.
There were many times in that game I felt that game could have got away from us, and we found a way to stay in the game, to really be going into the fourth quarter with an opportunity to win and have the game in control until what has consistently hurt us is the turnovers.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to date myself again because I was telling my wife this, and she didn't understand what I was talking about because this is going back into the 80s. There used to be, when we played Oklahoma every year, there's the thing called Sooner Magic. And we'd be going in the fourth quarter and we'd be doing really well against Oklahoma. And then somehow, some way, they would find a way to pull out a victory. And that's what it felt like. And I felt like the feelings I felt back then, because in my household, my dad, the day of a Husker game against Oklahoma, it was dead silence. It was serious. I knew to be on my best behavior that day or I was going to be in some trouble.
You weren't asking for anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm downstairs kind of playing, watching on TV. He's upstairs. And when something bad happened, you just hear the pounding on the floor. I can still remember that to this day.
I've been there also. Yes.
So that's the Minnesota game to me. Is I saw some progress. I liked our toughness. It's great to see a mobile quarterback out there. If we can get rid of those turnovers, we got a pretty good team.
Yeah, I said it felt a little different to me, being there. Just I never really felt like we were going to lose the game until we fumbled, and then I was like, but it just, Minnesota. That's kind of the difference between a program that's had the same coach for year 7.
Yep.
If you watch like the BTN shows, Jerry DiNardo said they look like a year 7 program. Like they know what to do. They're not going to panic. They play these close games, and it was like, if we would have won by 3 or lost by 3, we're still the same team going forward. Nobody expected us to win the national championship this year.
We weren't even favored to win that game.
We were
That's what I
favored,
keep saying.
underdogs by 7.
By
We lost
7.
by 3.
We
We
met
coulda-
expectations.
We could have won the game, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's, we've lost 25 one-score games in the last 5 years. So it's okay, because when we win the clwe ones,
It'll mean
it's going
more.
to be awesome.
It's going to mean more.
That's why you just keep making deposits. So when we beat Iowa, I made a huge withdrawal out of that deposit bank. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Hopefully we'll see a lot of our listeners on October 1st at the Run to Overcome. We will see you next Sunday. We got some American Ninja Warrior, our little
Prospects.
7-year-old little junior ninja coming in here in studio. So we're excited to visit with them. We'll see you next Sunday at the same time. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.